See, in this training, actually, we're going to learn that Azure data engineering. Okay, Azure data engineer. See, this Azure data engineer is a role. Okay, so suppose if you're joining, so after learning this course, if you're working the Azure platform, you will work in that role of Azure data engineer. So the Azure data engineer is the role. So that is a course actually we are going to learn. So in this course, what are the skills that we will be doing? Mainly, we are going to learn that Azure data factory. Okay? Azure data factory. And Azure data bricks. These are the major resources. So we are going to learn. So which we have to learn for the Azure data engineering. Apart from this storage perspective, we are going to learn that what Azure SQL database. Azure SQL database. And Azure blob storage. Azure blob storage. Azure data lake storage. So these are the major resources, storages perspective we are going to learn it. And email purpose, we are going to use the one Azure Logic Apps. Logic Apps. So when we are working with the data fabrics, we are going to learn the data bricks. We should know that Python. We should know that Python. So Python we are going to and PySpark. PySpark is one of the language we can use it that our data bricks. So the PySpark we are going to learn it. So PySpark actually it is going to be used as one of the language in the Databricks, but the Databricks is going to run on the top of the Spark engine. So we are going to learn what is the Spark, that Spark engine, how it is performed. So we are going to learn the Spark. What is the Spark? That Spark architecture, all those things. Right. And then finally, we are going to learn that Snaps. Snaps. Snaps is nothing but actually it is one of the resource so which has the future of the same Azure Data Factory and Azure Database. So both the feature will be available inside of the Snaps environment. Actually, we will call it like Snaps Analytics. So this part, some of the concept which is not available in the Data Factory and Database. So those concepts we will learn it in the Azure Analytics, Snaps Analytics. Then end, we are going to learn the CI/CD. Actually, CI/CD, this is a DevOps environment feature. This is one we are going to use it for that deployment purpose. So one environment to another environment, usually we will deploy it. After developing everything, after completing all the requirements, the development perspective, we have to move it into that our testing environment from the development. After the testing successful status, now we have to move it into that production environment. So this is called the deployment. That deployment here, we are going to learn that CI/CD. So these are the things we are going to learn. These are these high-level resources what we are going to learn for the Azure data. Apart from this, external storages, other storages, we are going to learn AWS S3, how to use the AWS S3. Why we have to learn this one now? Sometimes in your business, that means project, your source data, you may have it You may have it the Azure, AWS. Sometimes your business data, you may store it into that AWS. So either it can be a source or target. That time, if you are going to access that environment using that Azure data factory now, you should know how to interact with that environment. So we are going to learn it. And Snowflake. Snowflake is cloud-based. This one, what is that one? Data warehouse. So this data warehouse, so you may access this data warehouse. Actually, you may access as a source or target. So that one, how we can interact using that Azure data factory. So that one we are going to learn it. And API. Sometimes your business data, you may have it in the API. The API. So the API, if it is a source, how we can extract the data from that API. So that one we are going to learn. And your business data, you may have it in the Cosmos DB. Cosmos DB is one of the Azure database. So that NoSQL database, unstructured type of data, actually we can have it in this what is this one? Cosmos database. So if that the Cosmos DB is one of the source or target, now how we can interact with it. So that one also we are going to learn. And you may have that data on premises. So you may have that your business data in your local environment. That means your private network environment. So if the private network environment, if you're having as source or target, so how we can interact with that one using that Azure data factory. So that is the one. So these all things actually we are going to learn during this training. And to complete this training overall, we need that around 50 hours. So 50 plus hours actually. So we are going to spend. So overall this training. If you are completing this training from this training, it will be from the very scratch level. So if you're guys from the IT or non-IT, so it's not a problem. So the training, it is going to be from the very scratch level. So you can learn from that your scratch level. So you don't worry about that. If you learn this training now, actually you will get the knowledge. So around 3 years. So 3 years, if you are working that IT, that Azure data engineer, now what knowledge you will get it, that knowledge actually here you get it. So for switch over that your career from the IT to non-IT, or that one technology to this cloud technology, the existing technology, some other technology, you may have worked in that other technology, like you may work in the testing, you may work in the front-end development. So from that one, if you want to migrate into that your cloud environment, so this course will helpful. So you can say like yourself like that when you're having the knowledge of 3 years working experience, knowledge you will get it. Right. So this is about that course, what you're going to learn. Fine. Now, Azure data engineer actually, what is the responsibility? Actually, what the data engineer is going to do. The data engineers actually, so they are going to do the process of the business data. Business data actually you will have it. The business, it may be anything. Okay, so if you take that, so e-cart applications like Amazon, Flipkart, it's a business. So that application getting the data, lots of data, millions of data actually they're getting daily basis. So the data is actually they are going to process. The data engineer, what they are going to do now, they are going to process the data. Why they have to process the data? Actually, the data, what we are going to get it from that our end user. The data, it will not be in that proper format actually. The proper format. We cannot say that when our data, it will be in the proper structure. The end user, from the end user, whatever the data we are getting, the data, it will not be in the proper structure. The data actually, so it may be the sometimes structure, semi-structure, unstructured, it may be different structure. Right? So this data, so we have to process, right? So this data we have to process. So why we have to process now the data? Actually, we have to make it in the cleaned format data, because the source data, what we are going to get it from that our end user, the data it is not going to be in the proper cleaned format. So we have to make the data in the cleaned structure. Why we have to make the data in the cleaned structure? The data we are going to use it for the analysis purpose. If you want to use the data and the analysis purpose, now the data it should be in the cleaned structured format. Okay, why we have to analyze the data? If you want to analyze means actually, so we are going to understand that our business, how the business growing, and which product selling more, which area we are having more business, which area we are having the lack of business. So where we have to focus the marketing, and where we have to focus the quality perspective. So everything actually we can analyze it, right? We're analyzing the data. So by analyzing the data means nothing. You are analyzing your business. So business analysis purpose, the data, so we need the proper structure. So the data, if you want to analyze it means, we need this type of thing. Okay, fine. Now, what is the role of this Azure data engineer? Yeah, the data engineer actually, they are going to process the data. Fine. Actually, scenario, we'll take some scenario. Imagine I'm having one business. That business data, so I'm having the business data I'm having here. So like Excel, the business data you're having like Excel. Okay. So Excel is one of the way where we can store the data. Another data format, actually database. Database. Okay. So here, simply I'm having two sections. One or two storages. One is that Excel, another one is that database. So the database and file format and file format. Two formats. The real time actually, we will have the data, the different sources. We will have the data, the different sources. So that source, you may have it, file format, databases. The file format, you may have the different file format, like you may have the data, so the CSV format, or you may have that JSON format, you may have that Parquet file format, different file formats you may have. So the every business application, actually, you are going to get it. So different source data. But as I told you in the beginning, actually, so if you want to analyze the data now, so all your business data, you have to bring it into that your centralized storage environment. Here, the centralized storage environment, usually it is called that data warehouse. You have to bring the data into that your data warehouse. That data warehouse. So imagine I'm having that my data warehouse. So like a Snaps, the Azure platform, we are having the data warehouse Snaps. So I want to bring the data into this environment. Instead of this environment, I will have the table. I'll have that table. So this table, so what I want to do now, I want to get all the data from different sources. So into this table, I want to bring all my business data, but my business data, I'm going to have it in the different sources. but from all the different sources. So the data, I want to bring it into this final storage environment. This storage environment here actually is nothing but data warehouse. This data warehouse nothing but it's like a table, not like it's table only. But here, if you want to bring that your table data into this table, how you can bring the data? You need some technology, right? You need some technology. See, just a minute. I guess is my screen visible to you all? Someone can confirm actually. Getting message like that on WhatsApp.
Yes, still visible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I want to bring my data into that my final storage engine. Then I need some technology. So here, the technology usually it's called the technology is called ETL. ETL. So ETL is one of the technology. That technology, for what purpose we are going to use it now? So this technology we are going to use it for getting the data from the different sources and storing the data into that another storage environment. So one environment to another environment, we are going to migrate the data. So that migration is called ETL process. That ETL, the full form called extract, okay, transform, and load. So extract, transform, load. ETL means extract, transform, load. See, extracting data from the different sources. So from where we are going to extract the data, our business data. So we may have it one of the source environment, the file format like CSV, Excel, JSON, like that. Or my business data may be available that database. Here I have taken only 2 sources, but in the real time we may have it multiple sources. So it depends upon the business. So your business data, source data, which you are going to get directly from the end user, the data, it may be available in that file format or the database format, but both are having that my business data only. So I want to analyze my business data. That business data, I want to bring it into my target environment. That target environment here, it is called the data warehouse. So the data warehouse, if you want to bring the data now, you need the ETL technology. So ETL is nothing but extract, transform, load. The extract means you are going to extracting source data. Okay, fine. Extraction is done. Then what is the meaning of transformation? Transformation. So T stands for transformation. So transformation. So the data you are going to change from one format to another format. What is the meaning of that one format to another format? Imagine I'm having my business data like this. Just for understanding purpose, I'm taking that example of the data. See, imagine I'm having one inquiry. Okay, so student name. Okay, so student name Siva. Okay, and his mobile number, right? So some random number, and he's inquiring for the course. So Azure Data Engineering. Okay, he's inquiring from Hyderabad. Okay, the Hyderabad is located in Telangana state. So the Telangana, so it's in India. Okay, I'm having some details like this. I'm having that inquiry information like this structure. If I'm having my business, this is my business data, my business training. So that the business actually I'm doing the training, so I'm getting the inquiry like this. So that enquired people details I'm having like this, but using this data, if I want to do analysis now, actually I cannot do it. This format of data will not help to analyze. Technically I cannot do it manually, I can do it, but one or two records if I'm having like this now, I can read it manually, but I will have that millions of records. All the millions of record, if I want to analyze it now, it's not possible. Manually, if you want to do that now, it's not possible. Then what I want to do? Yes, now the data engineer coming into the picture. Source data, we got it like this. So simply, so how this data we can change? This data, see here, this data, we can change it in that proper structured format. The data, as a data engineer, we are going to do that. The simple one, how we are going to do? See, now the data we are having like a one cell value, right? So now what I'm going to do now, see, if you are working on this data, if you are processing this data now, actually what we will do it now, see, this data, we will change it like this. So the data Siva, right? And so that number and this one, the course and location and your state and your country, right? See, actual data, how it will be splitted now, it will be splitted. It will be splitted like this. See here, we are having the data. See, actual data, we are splitting like this. Okay, actual data, we are splitting like this, right? See, here, you will have the header information. You will have that header information. So name, course, contact number, so city, country, so all those information. So we will have it like this. So here it is going to be that name. Space, so short, let's see, contacts. And which course enquired? The course. So city, state, and country. Okay. See, if you're having the data like this type of format data will not help to analyze it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm changing this format data into this format, this structure. See, now I'm having like a table structure. So every value, all the inquiry details, I will have it like one record. So that record having that separate column. So that first column, name, contact, so course, city, state, country. Suppose if I want to analyze it, so city wise, if I want to analyze it now, I can analyze the data. So country wise, if I want to analyze now, yes, I can analyze it. Right? So state wise, if I want to analyze it now, yes, I can do it. This type of changes we are doing. So some of the validations and changing the data form, date form, date structure, whatever it is. Or else, see, another one, simple understanding. See here, student details, student name, so subject 1, subject 2, and subject 3. Like this, we are having some data. Okay. So here, this is going to be student name. This is going to be subject 1. This is going to be subject 2. So just for the understanding purpose, I'm taking very easiest example. Yeah. So subject B. So student name and subject, everything will be there, right? So here, so you will have the details. So that Siva. And subject 75. So 70. 85. Like this, you are going to get it. See, this is going to be that your source data. But you are getting instruction like that one when you are storing this data into the target side. While you are storing the data into the target side, what you have to do now, you have to add one more column. That column should have that total subject value, total mark. That means the target side, you will have that 4 column. You're going to have that 4 column, 5 columns actually. One student name and subject 1 and subject 2 and subject 3 and subject 4. Subject 4 instead of subject 4, what you are going to have it? You are going to have that total. So here, this is going to be student name. As it is, what you are going to get it in the source. S1, S2, S3, all as it is. We have to store it. But along with that one, total also we have to use it. We have to store it. But total value, we don't have it here. Then what we have to do? Total is nothing but this is the one, right? The S1, S2, S3. You have to add it, right? So total equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3. But this one we don't have in that our source set. Then what we have to do? We have to write the logic. As a data engineer, we have to write the logic. So what we have to do? So first is S1, S2, S3. So these 3 we have to add it. For that adding purpose, we are going to write the logic. That logic is called transformation. That logic is called transformation. You are doing some aggregation for your business purpose. For based on that your business requirement, you are writing the logic. So you are doing some transformation using that your business data. Got it? So this type of changes, either it can be the type, the structure, this type of data format changes. So or that some of the aggregation logics you may write it based on that your business requirement. So this type of process is called a transformation. Okay, fine. So this is nothing but our data warehouse environment. Then what we have to do? After doing the transformation, the final data, you have to load it into that your target side. You have to load it into the target side. So extract, transformation, and load. Load. Extract, transformation, ETL. The ETL. This ETL process, who's going to do? Data engineer going to do. Who is the data engineer? We are the data engineer. Got it? So this ETL we are going to do. Okay, fine. Using which technology? The ETL actually, so we are having the ETL tools like that one SSIS. I don't know how many people heard about the SSIS, but SSIS is one of the tool. It's a Microsoft product. Sorry. And Informatica Power Center, it's an Informatica product. And Data Stage, it's an IBM product. So like this, we are having a lot of ETL tools, but these all are on-premise information. These all are on-premise information. Suppose your data available in the cloud, or suppose if you want to move the data into the cloud, this technology will not help. Then you need the technology which is going to help so to interact with the cloud environment as well as the on-premise environment. Then what is the technology name? So that technology is called Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. This is the ETL tool. Okay. Is there any other technologies there? Yes. Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks, you can use it for that. So ETL purpose. Azure Data Factory and Azure Databricks. Both are we can use it for the ETL purpose. Exactly if I want to say that one, Azure Data Factory, we are going to use it for ETL or ELT. ETL na extract, transformation, load. ELT na extract, load and transformation. What is the meaning of extract, load and transformation? See, some of the business data, so not some of the business data, even nowadays actually all the companies, the existing business storage environment, all are they are keeping in that on-premise environment. So all the business data, what they want to do now, they want to bring it into the cloud first. Because nowadays everything they are migrating into the cloud. They want to bring all the data into the cloud. So without doing any business logic, without doing any business transformations, first we want to bring the data into the cloud, then extracting from the source and load the data into the cloud. So EL, extract, load. After that, once you load the data into the cloud, then you can do that your transformation based on that your business. So Azure Data Factory, we can use it for both the purpose, ETL purpose as well as ELT purpose, the basic level interview question. What is the difference between the ETL and ELT? So after transformation, you are loading ETL. So after loading and then you are doing transformation, then again you are going to load it into that your target. So ELT. Then what is the meaning of our use of that Azure Databricks? Actually, the Azure Databricks, especially we are going to use it for the transformation purpose. Transformation of big data. Big data. So earlier they were used that Hadoop technologies. Nowadays, maximum, so they are using the Databricks. This is a Spark background technology. So this is the one going to be used for that. So what is that one? The performance perspective, this is the most important tool. So transformation, we are going to use it Databricks. Millions of data, so you can handle it with the distribution features. So these two technology actually we are going to use it. So these all are ETL technology. Okay, so both are ETL technology. So as a data engineer, we are going to work with this technology. Okay, fine. So the data engineer, so we are going to learn the Azure Data Factory and Azure Data Bricks. So for the Azure Data Bricks purpose, actually, so we are going to learn that. So that the Python, PySpark. So we are going to learn these two things. Learn. And external storages. Now, how we can interact with that external storages using Data Factory. So Data Factory, we are going to use it as a primary. Right? So these are the course content actually we are going to learn it. So that Azure Cloud Data Engineer. So here we are going to learn that Azure Data Factory introduction, important concept in Azure Data Factory, integration runtime, that Azure IA, that means IA. So these are the topics actually what we are going to learn it in that Data Factory. And after that learning of the idea of Azure Data Factory, we are going to start with that Databricks. So for the Databricks, first we are going to learn the Python few classes. Then, so we are going to learn that Spark architecture. Then we are going to use that Databricks. So the Databricks actually, what is the cluster notebook? So from the scratch, everything we are going to learn from the scratch to intermediate level knowledge. So don't worry about that. So if you don't have any base knowledge. So different files, how we can handle using the Spark, that means Databricks. And how we can interact with the Azure Blob Storages, Azure Data Lake Storages using that from the Databricks environment. So joins and SCD types. So SCD types here we will learn it as well as here also we will learn. So what is the SCD type? So 1 and 2. And finally, we are going to learn that our CHCD concept. then interview discussion. Okay, so this is the one we are going to learn it. And yes, as I said in the beginning, actually, so once you complete this training now, so you will get the knowledge like so to around 3 years of experience. So working people, what knowledge they will have it. So the same amount of knowledge you will have it, but one thing you have to do it, you have to do the proper practice. That is important. Okay, so this is about that our so Azure Data Engineering Introduction. So that's all about that demonstration, and we are going to have that 2 more sessions tomorrow and day after tomorrow. We are having the session, so both are free only. So same time you can connect the tomorrow session. So we are going to see that one. What is cloud? Why the companies are using cloud? So when we have to go with the cloud technologies, our companies when they are using when they are started to use the cloud technology, or why they are started to use the cloud technology. So what are the clouds are available? So the cloud services. So all the things actually. So we are going to learn simply. We are going to learn why cloud, what Azure. So this part we are going to learn it that tomorrow session. So tomorrow session also the free session. You guys can connect to the same meeting link at the same time. So that's all for the day. If you are having any doubts now, you can ask.